When growing this crop, how often to water potatoes is a topic that most gardeners struggle with, not knowing or understanding the demands of the plant. How often to water potatoes? Generally, potatoes require at least 1 to 2 inches of water each week without allowing them to dry out. Water needs for your potatoes during their growing season are as follows. From planting to 30 days, low water needs. 30 to 60 days. Water is critical for vegetative growth and early tuber formation. 60 to 90 days. Water is essential for tuber bulking. 90 to 120 days. Tops begin to yellow and die back. Average water is needed, but not excessively because they are nearing harvest. Potato plants should be watered deeply, especially if the weather is scorching and dry. The soil should always maintain a moisture level of 8 to 10 inches underground. You should also ensure that you do not overwater the potatoes 2 weeks after planting. During the first weeks of planting, water after every 4 to 5 days. 6 to 8 weeks after planting, water the plants every single day or 2 days apart. During this time, the plant begins to make new potatoes underground. The 3 most important stages to water potatoes. The flowering stage. When the flowers are in full bloom, the tubers begin to grow in size very quickly. Try watering the potato plants 4 times per week thoroughly, rather than soaking them. The tuber stage. Watering 4 times a week ensures you won't leave your plants with wet feet. Also keep in mind that if the water sits for too long, it may lead to fungal infections or tuber rot. Maturing stage. Watering needs to be kept consistent until the potato plants begin to turn yellow and wilt. When they do, it shows they no longer need moisture. Considerations to take when you water potatoes. Do not overwater. Overwatering potato plants promote root rot, cause irregular tuber formation, and increases the risk of disease. Do not underwater. Underwatering makes the soil dry out completely, prohibiting tuber formation and leading to irregular tubers with imperfections. It is best to water your potatoes in the early morning hours to avoid the afternoon sun evaporating all the moisture. You can also put a layer of mulch around potato plants, especially after they blossom. This allows the soil to retain moisture and helps prevent the growth of weeds. The potatoes' maturity stage, curing. As the plants wither, changing their color to yellow, it's time to stop watering. This stage allows the potatoes to cure and harden, so they are ready for harvesting. The curing stage for potatoes lasts between 1 and 2 weeks. Cover the bed with a breathable, waterproof tarp that will allow some light in during the final week of curing. This is the best to use in areas with heavy clay soil that may never dry out. The curing process toughens the potatoes' skin, giving them the ability to store very well for extended periods. Excess water slows this process down or causes root rot in extremely wet conditions. Harvesting your potatoes. When you stop watering to allow the potato plants to cure, remember that you don't need water anywhere near these mature potatoes, even if the soil looks dry. Once you harvest your crop, let it dry for 2 to 3 days to remove all the soil and then store them. Ensure that you keep them in a cool, dry place, away from any moisture or direct sunlight. Growing potatoes in water, tips. Ensure that your potato plant leaves don't grow out of control when planted in the water. You also need to keep in mind that after a while in the water, transplanting the plant to the soil will allow for a larger potato harvest. In some instances, using multiple containers may be necessary for starting your potato plants in water. 1 or 2 inches of water is recommended to start your potato in a jar. For the potato to sprout in water, it is advisable to place it in a sunny spot for the best results. After sprouting, you can add more water to the container. However, ensure that only half the potato is submerged in water. Potato irrigation scheduling. Irrigation methods that work best for potatoes include sprinkler irrigation that involves rows on hilltops. The checkbook method, which includes crop evapotranspiration, is a successful irrigation scheduling method that has proven effective for potato plants. Using a graph for soil moisture is also an effective irrigation method for potatoes as it identifies the water retention and content of the growing medium. Additionally, you can also opt to make use of a combination of both the above-mentioned irrigation scheduling methods if it works for you. Remember, knowing the basic water requirements for potatoes and following them during the growing period is vital to producing a good crop. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.